everyone, it's me, Nikki, here to share some organizational tips on how to work it. As you all know, I am a stay-at-home wife now, but that really was not always the case. It's only been like that for the past year. Prior to that, I worked outside the home full-time, sometimes a little more than full-time, and I received a couple requests from some of my beautiful subscribers asking, Nikki, how did you do it when you worked? What are some organizational tips that you can share that can help me with my home organizational issues and to give me some balance because I do have to go outside the home and work? And so that is what this video is for today. Now, these tips are universal. If you're a stay-at-home mom, dad, wife, whatever the case may be, these tips will still work for you. Now, I hope that you will sit back and enjoy and that you can get something from this. I really enjoyed putting these tips together for you. I can have some additional ones as they come along in the future. So I'm hoping to bring some kind of relief to your crazy work week. So I hope you will enjoy. Oh guys, this is my kitchen BFF. I adore my crock pot. I tell you this really, when I worked outside the home, even today, love it. You put your food in there in the morning before you leave work or even just staying at home. And in the evening time, you have dinner done. This is the best invention ever. So I really encourage you to get a crock pot if you don't have one. If you have one, pull it out of your pantry and use it. There's so many versatile recipes out there now that will really give you a variety of meals that you can provide for your family. You don't have to worry about dinner all the time. You know, you can just one thing off of your plate, which is so important when you work outside the home or even as a stay-at-home mom or wife. You have so much going on. You really just to take that off of you is just such a great thing. And then the beauty is you're still providing your family with a beautiful meal. So I am really a big fan of the crock pot. There are some awesome ladies and men out there that do cooking channels that can show you some great recipes. Two of my all-time favorites is Cooking with Carolyn and Divas Can Cook. I will put both of their links below. Speaking of, Divas Can Cook put a great crockpot recipe on her channel the other day. Now this is my second BFF. The slow cooker liners makes the cleanup amazing, because that was one thing that I did not like about the crock pot is that I had to clean it after we ate. But now with the liners, I put the liner in before I put my food in, and then after dinner I just lift it out and throw it in the trash. It totally eliminates it. Now this week, just to share, in my Sunday paper there was a coupon for $1 off of the slow cooker liners. So definitely want to check your paper and your coupons to make sure that you get that, because if you would like to try them, this is the time, especially with having that coupon, because they really, I'm really a fan of the slow cooker liners. It really works. They really save me that yucky cleanup that you have to do with your crock pot. So I really encourage you to pull out the crock pot, check those two channels out, Cooking with Carolyn and Divas Can Cook. They are awesome. Great recipes that they provide you. So I love the crock pot. Okay, my work bag. When I worked outside the home, this was so important to me. One thing I just could not stand was to be trying to get out the house and have a purse, lunch bag, coffee, keys, rambling all over the place. No. One bag. When I left out of my house, I had this one bag and my keys. Everything that I needed for my workday was in this bag. And that is the tip that I am saying. Get you one consolidated piece that can hold everything that you need to get you out of the house. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, when you go to the grocery store, when you go to play dates or whatever, have everything in one bag so that, when you're grabbing the kids and trying to get them, you only have to grab this bag, grab your keys, and go. Now, I got my bag from, this one is from Wilson's Leather. I have a couple of them, and I usually would get them from that store because they're really durable and I am hard on them. And, they lasted the test of time for me. So I really am a fan of Wilson Leather business bags. So this one worked great for me. What I want to do is I do want to show you actually what I packed in my work bag, kind of a what's in my work bag kind of little thing here. To start, I always took my laptop to work. Now, I don't have my zip up cover on it, but I usually would have it in a zip up cover to protect it while it's in the bag. But I'm just showing you how, my work bag was set up so that, you can know. But, I would definitely, if you're putting your laptop in there, just put a zip cover around it. You don't want the little cloth ones, they work great. So my laptop was always in my bag. The next thing was my work binder. I always had one binder for work. I didn't like having organizer, notepad, business card holders. This fit everything. I believe I got it from Target several years ago. If you can't find this exact one and you're interested in it, you can always use a 1/2-inch binder and create one yourself. Or I'm sure they have a ton of them out there. But what I loved about this is it had a place for all my business cards that I needed for work. All my agenda notes or meeting notes I could write right there. And then it had a pocket to put anything that I had. Like if I used to get all these kind of reports and things from meetings, I could just slip them in there. And I had everything in one place. If I had to go to a meeting, everything was right there in my bag. I grab my bag and I go. So that was very convenient for me. So just having one thing and not having multiple things. The more you can consolidate the things that you put in your bag or that you use for work, all the better. So my laptop, my work bag, and then the next thing I would use is my purse. I always had this. I love my Coach small messenger bag. This is all I needed for work. I just needed something that when it was lunchtime or whatever, needed to go to the bank or go somewhere, I could just grab my bag and go. I didn't necessarily have to take my entire work bag, and this fit everything perfectly. I always kept my phone in the pocket. That way I always knew where it was. And also when I grabbed my bag out of the work bag to go somewhere at lunchtime, I automatically had my phone with me, so no repacking. So also what I would put into my work bag was I would put my a little nail kit with my file, nail clippers and things in there, because at work sometimes that happens. So that always stayed in my purse part, along with some hand lotion. So I always kept that in there. And so it is perfect size for just what you need for work. I didn't really need a lot, in the office, but this is just what I needed. My little makeup, basically what I use to dab, and my lip gloss. That's all I needed for work, and my gum. So I would put all of that in my little messenger bag, and that was my purse. Now in the back pocket there, I also would put my wallet. I didn't bring that down to put in there to show you, but my wallet was also in there. And so that way this purse was ready to go. It's small enough to fit in my work bag without me having to carry it separately. And that was the objective. I wanted everything in this bag because, like I said, I was just going to walk out the house with one bag. So I would throw that in there and always have that. And actually, it just basically stayed in there. And, like I said, I always keep my work bag by my front door with my keys to the side. So when it was time to go, I didn't have to think. I just went. Another thing is this Brighton bag I had that I would keep my lunch in. So basically in the mornings, I would throw my lunch into my Brighton bag. And there you go. Put my little fruit, my sandwich, whatever I was taking for lunch, I would have in my little lunch bag. And that way it was all zipped up. I knew it was my lunch and I would just put it in my bag. Again, I'm not carrying separate bags. Everything is in this one place. It just takes a lot of stress off. My sunshades, of course, when you get in the car, you're going to pull those out. So I would always just throw those in my bag. Of course, you can also keep those in your car, but I always kept them on me. And my coffee. Oh, I love my briefcase coffee carafe. And I love this because I love to drink my coffee at work out of my coffee cup on my desk. I didn't want to drink it out of a travel mug. That was just a kind of treat for me. And that's kind of how I like to do it. And so I always filled that up with my coffee. And of course, it fit in there also. Again, not carrying it separately. Another thing was my highlighters and pens for meetings. I always kept this little green case with that in there. So when meetings, because I always grabbed my work bag when I went to meetings. It had everything in it. And a calculator, because when we would crunch numbers and things, it's easier on a regular calculator than it was to try to use my phone in meetings and things. So I always kept just kind of a separate calculator on me. So, that was just my preference. And then my electronic bag. This was a little bag that I had that basically I would just keep all my iPod charger, my cell phone charger, just all the little electronics that I may need during the day at work. And I always just kept this bag in my work bag, And again, you're not packing your work bag every day. The only thing you're doing is, changing out your lunch and that kind of thing. But you're basically all this stuff just stayed in the bag. So I didn't have to worry about it, but I always had them on me. It was just so convenient. Again, only carrying one thing. And the next thing was my mouse. I always had this mini mouse with me because when I use my laptop, I just don't like using the laptop mouse. I like having me a mouse to just roll around on the table. So what I would do is on this bag in particularly, I had this little attachment here. Typically, I think it was for cell phones or whatever, but I would always just kind of push my mouse down in there and have that ready for me, because I used to go to a lot of meetings and it was easier to have the mouse than to just sit there with the laptop. To me, that was less stress. And then now you can see how it looks down into my bag as it's packed for work. It's compact. Everything's in there now, but everything is in there. I'm ready to go. I have one bag. I'm just grabbing that, grabbing my keys and go. You don't realize this, but that really takes a lot of stress off of you. Trying to get to the car with a purse, with a notebook, with keys. I mean, if you have the kids, if you have your lunch, it's just too much. And this is stylish. When you walk in the office, you want to walk in a little stylish. So have your little cute bag and have everything in it and have your keys. And when you walk in the office, you don't look like you're dragging in and just exhausted before you get there, but you have everything that you need to get through your day. When you go to meetings, you look very nice and put together when you go to your meetings, and you have everything. You're prepared. Everything is in your bag, So that was the thing I loved about it, because yeah, it's a little larger than my purse would be, but not that bad. So I love it. Okay, so I also got a lot of requests for, what was my cleaning schedule? And so this is what I want to share with you. This is what I use now that I'm home. I used it when I worked, and it completely works for me. It keeps me on top of my home. And I notice when I don't stick to it, I fall behind. But if I just do this simple method, it would work. It's simple. An hour a day, Monday through Friday, cleaning my house, an hour a day. I got off work at 4:30. Actually, no, not got off work. I would get home. I got off at 4. I get home by 4:30. And from 4:30 to 5:30, I would clean my house. I had my little kitchen timer that I would use. I would set it for the 60 minutes. And from that point, all I was doing was cleaning house. The hour went by amazingly fast. And it really, doing that every day for Monday through Friday, it worked. And then the weekend, I didn't have to clean. My house always stayed clean, because if you maintain this schedule, eventually you'll get to a point where you're maintaining your home. It worked great. And my friend Marie actually introduced me to this method. She had tried it and she came to work so excited. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. And I tried it, and truly, it does work. For me, it worked for her. It worked for me. So I would give it a try. I oftentimes would come home and watch 2 episodes of Law and Order. That's automatically 2 hours. Before you know it, it's 6:30. Why not take 1 hour and have a maintained home? It's unbelievable. This system works for me. So I also, when I started out, and Marie had told me about this tip, is to have a jar where you put your different things that you want to do around the house, and then you would just pick, and that's what you would do. I don't use the jar anymore, because basically, if you just do the hour a day, you're good. Now, one of the staple things that you want to make sure that you do in that hour is put a load of laundry into the laundry, because you want to do a load a day. And again, that would keep you staying on top of your laundry. When Friday night comes, you're done. The weekend is here. Enjoy, relax. Again, it then frees up time that if you want to do organizational projects, the weekend you're not so stressed, you can jump on them at that time. So the jar thing is great for kids. Like if you're going to come home, everybody comes home, and as a family you say, hey, set in the 60 minutes. As a family, we're spending the hour a day, Monday through Friday, cleaning up. You can put the kids' chores in there, whatever is age appropriate for them, or that you decide that you want your kids doing. Also for your husband, it keeps everybody from kind of bumping heads or not knowing what to do. So as a family, I would recommend using the jar to kind of schedule out work and tell everybody what they can do. And actually, it's a fun way for them because everybody, kids love when they get to pick something and look. And so it's kind of giving them a little bit of buy-in with the whole chore thing. So having the house cleaning jar is a good thing when I think you're working as a family, as a team, doing that. When I did the cards, I actually had them set up color-coded by what needs to be done monthly, what needs to be done weekly, and what needs to be done daily. So that way they kind of could identify, what were daily, monthly, weekly household chores, and knew, by the end of the week that certain colors needed to be gone, and daily certain colors had to be gone, and then monthly certain colors had to be gone. So color coding them is a great idea also. But again, for me, just being me, stay at home, I don't use this anymore because it really, if I just simply use the timer and do it the hour a day and I'm consistent, oh my gosh, you guys, it really truly works. And you really don't feel overwhelmed. When I worked and I did this system, I did not feel like I came home and just cleaned every day. I really felt good about it because the hour went so fast. By 5:30, I was done, which would have been my first episode of Law and Order, and I could move on to my evening. Okay, tip number 4 is the dishwasher family rule. This is something me and my husband abide by now, and we've always had this rule, and it works great. What it basically means is no dishes in the sink. Nothing touches the sink. Everything goes from your mouth or from me cooking directly into the dishwasher. When I'm cooking, I clean as I cook. If I cut up an onion, I'm putting that cutting board and that knife and everything directly in the dishwasher. So when I sit down to eat, my kitchen is automatically clean. When we have a snack at night, everybody's responsible for their plates, their dinner plates or whatever, and they just easily put it into the dishwasher. It keeps me from being the only one responsible for dishes, and it's easier when you share that kind of responsibility. It's so simple to do, and after time, you don't even think about it. Everybody just automatically put their dishes in the dishwasher. I run the dishwasher at night, and so when I get up in the morning the first thing I do is quickly unload the dishwasher so that everyone has availability to put their dirty dishes in it. Okay, now this last tip, it disappoints me now, and it may disappoint some of you, but for my UK subscribers, oh my gosh, you guys are so lucky. This is one tip. When I worked in the UK, this was my big lifesaver. Online grocery shopping. They had the best customer service, the best system. You could easily go to their website. They had different variety of grocery stores that offered this service. You'd go do your grocery shopping online. The product descriptions were great. You could see the nutritional values. You had such a variety. You could schedule your deliveries next day or 2 weeks down the road. You could make changes to your order up to 4 hours before, and they delivered up to 10 o'clock at night, and it was just so convenient. If you ordered something and they didn't have it in the store, when the delivery driver came, he said, hey, here are the substitutes that we have for you. You could either accept them or decline them. And, it was just so great, such a great system over there. I don't know if in other countries like Canada, Australia, or anywhere else, if you all have this, but if you do, oh my gosh, use this. I haven't found anywhere stateside that I can get my groceries and order them online and do that delivery. Some where you can just do fruits and things, but this is a full-fledged shopping for groceries experience. So if you have it, use it. For my UK subscribers, I will put in the down bar some of the grocery stores that I love to do my online shopping at when I was in the UK. For the US folks, if you know of anywhere that offers this service, please share that with me. I would love to know. And also check out the UK site to see how that works. It's really awesome. I want to thank you all for subscribing and hope you have a beautiful week.